My name is Nick. I'm a full-time trader and entrepreneur. We put out tons of stuff for free for traders. These are real trades. This is real money. I'm putting my money on the line. This is going to be a live trading video here, locking in over $1,000 on this trade.
Wow, I'd love to get in on this.
Technical insights that really look good to me.
Here we go, we're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Shout out to Trey, Glenn, Brandon, Bezo, and Denise, Daniel, Muzamil. Thank you guys for being here early. Love to see that every time I get on here. I see some people who are already in the call, waiting and ready for the stream. So thanks for being here. Happy, what is today? Today is Wednesday. Wednesdays, I usually record from home. I just do stuff from home. That's like our we're doing one of those hybrid systems like everybody else, it seems like these days, where you have some days where you're in the office, other days where you are not. But Wednesdays are kind of nice because I'm able to stay home and still do a lot of my work. So we are here back in the streams talking about what's going on in the world of financial markets, specifically the foreign exchange is what we like to focus here. So shout out to all you guys in the chat. I see a bunch of you saying hello and letting me know where you are from, which is always cool. So thank you for being here. It does mean a lot to see there. So let's talk about what we've got moving today. So yesterday was a roller coaster of a day. So let's just recap a little bit of what happened with the dollar and also just with markets in general. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw something out. So yesterday we had a really interesting shift in market sentiment. And it happened like really, really quick. So if we say that, the upper limits here of the risk on and the lower limits of risk off, what ended up happening yesterday is we saw sort of this really fast-paced shift between the two of these. We just kind of saw a rapid, move back and forth. And that's evident in the price action of the US dollar here today. So actually yesterday and today. So what you'll notice is that the dollar, what happened yesterday is we had CPI come out as lower than expected, meaning lower inflation, which is usually seen as a bearish thing for the dollar because it's less likely to cause the Fed to want to tighten monetary policy. As you guys may know, if you've been following along with my content for a while, I talk about this often. Higher inflation usually leads to a raise in interest rates and a response from central banks to sort of control inflation. But lower inflation or in target near their 2% target, that is their ideal level. So when you get inflation that is much higher than this, which we've seen recently, it prompts in many cases central banks and central monetary policy to tighten, to respond to that. Well, lower inflation means, hey, maybe things are not as out of control as we thought, and that caused a big dip in the dollar. But before we could even blink twice, the dollar was right back up. We saw a massive shoot to the upside on the dollar by the end of the day. And so that's where we sort of left off yesterday. Then the dollar is deciding to be weird again. We saw the dollar come down really hard in the last several hours. The last 24 hours have been pretty bearish for the dollar. And now we are seeing yet again a little bit of a bid up here before the New York session really gets kicked off. So it's really back and forth. Seeing just, a dip on the dollar, a rally in the dollar, a dip on the dollar. So where are we going next? Well, the big thing that I would say is that in terms of like where we're looking ahead to, we have some big news on Thursday, which is the core retail sales numbers. Retail sales are basically, for those of you guys who are not sure, it's the change in total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. Due to the fact that automobiles are such a big amount of people's spending. Think about it. Big purchases in people's lives are usually their house, usually their cars, usually school, for example, might be a big purchase. So they try and exclude that to try and just get a gauge of sort of what's going on the retail sales level, on the just general buying. Are prices going up? Are prices going down? Right? Not prices. Is demand going up? Is demand going down? Right? Are we seeing a lot of consumer spending, or is that lower than expected? So those are some things to be looking out for on Thursday, which is tomorrow, which could cause some volatility for the dollar. I know I'm staying very heavy on the fundamentals right now. We will get into the technical analysis. Don't get me wrong. We'll definitely. Are you guys? Is the mic bad? Let me see. Audio. Yeti
Speaker. Can you guys let me know if that's better? Let me know really quick. Is the mic better now? Florian said that something's wrong with the mic, and I just changed the mic to a different one. Is that better now? Just let me know if the sound just got better improvement. Okay. Alex says better. Victoria says better. Victoria also said, I saw your message about lockdown. Some people were saying lockdown is no fun. No, it is not. I definitely don't envy you in that situation. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, you guys. I'll say this. I'm more of a trader than I am a YouTuber. I'm not always great with all this tech stuff, but we are going to make it through. Thank you guys for the feedback. So, yeah, so overall, the dollar has been really back and forth in the last, or at least the start of this week. I am still maintaining an overall bearish perspective on the dollar, especially with those CPI numbers coming out. That just added more confirmation to my bearish thesis, if anything, for the US dollar. So again, we will see how that plays out, but some levels to watch out for. Taking a look at the DXY, as we talked about everything there, weighing, the poor jobs numbers, weighing the lower than expected CPI, and everything going into that. I think that the dollar is more of a sell than a buy. That is my personal opinion. Please know I can be wrong. I have been wrong plenty of times, but my goal here is to give you my best insights that I possibly can. And I do think that the dollar, is more headed to the south than it is to the north, most likely, at least according to my analysis. Will I be right this time? We'll see. The thing is, as a trader, sometimes I'll make an idea, on YouTube. I'll share an idea that I have, and it will be completely wrong. And you'll get people, who will comment something like, Nick, see, you were wrong. And I'll be the first one to agree with them. There are times where I'm just wrong about an idea. So I think that the dollar is most likely, not guaranteed, but most likely headed lower. And I personally will be positioning myself for that. In fact, I already kind of have, and I'll show you guys a trade that I'm currently in just a moment. But yes, so the dollar is, the key level of support here as we go into today's price action. We did find some here. This level being pretty stubborn. We'll see if that can break out. If that gets, if we get some sellers come back into this market, if we can push underneath this, I think that leaves us a good bit of room here for continued downward pressure on the dollar. I want to show you one more thing here that I really like recently. If we draw this fib, this is still relevant to when I took that GBP USD trade last week, which, by the way, foreshadowing, I'm in another trade now with a pound dollar. We'll look at that in a moment to see if I'm getting crushed yet on it or not. But yeah, so I like the pullback to the 50. We actually double topped really nicely there. And now I'm just looking to see if we can get some follow through underneath these lows. So I think that the dollar, like I said, a reasonable area for me in terms of a target is a move back down to 92 on the dot there. So we'll see if we can get that. And that is my opinion on the dollar. So we'll start taking a look at some of the different crosses. Euro USD. So taking a look at the euro, a currency pair, in my opinion, that has more room to the upside than to the downside at this time. We did find some nice demand here down there at 1.17. How low did it go? 1.177. I do like this area. 1.18 seems like a pretty reasonable area of support so far. Really waiting to see if you're looking at the euro and you're saying, hey, well, this thing has some downward structure. Definitely does. And I would say that for the bulls out there, if you are a fellow bull like myself, watching for something like this, right? Watching for that breakout, show signs of, breaking out of that counter trend. Because what I see here is that you've got the main trend, right, which is this strong upward pressure on the euro, on the 4-hour and even on the daily chart. We found demand on the higher time frames down at 1.17. Now we're seeing this. So this I would call the counter trend and the trend, right? So the trend to me seems mostly dominant to the upside. And the counter trend is this little price action pullback here on the lower time frames. So I am looking for a chance for that to fail. We are seeing some higher lows here. Can we get the break to the upside on the euro and see some actual follow through? If we do start to see follow through, a reasonable place in my mind where price could head would be a move back up to 1.19. We saw a lot of resistance there previously, and that is probably a pretty big safe haven for the sellers. We can even extend that out to where we currently saw it or last saw it before this recent current buy up. So yes, that level to me is a big area of resistance, but I do think that if the counter trend can get broken, that a natural place for the euro dollar would be to drift back up to that 1.19. And from there, we sort of would reset this whole idea and say, okay, can we then look for the breakout above that, right? So that's my opinion. I think that the Euro USD has some pretty decent bullishness. And like I said, I think a pretty good idea for me is looking for something like this, right? Some sign of bullish momentum and then trying to pick it up on a pullback. That's actually, pretty much my approach to most of my trades is looking for something like that. Looking for momentum to pick up, dominant uptrend. I very generally like to be buying things that are moving up and selling things that are moving down. I know that sounds really, really obvious, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people are trying to just fade every move. And it's not just my opinion. I can actually show you guys that. Let me show you this. I was reading this article by Frank this morning on the website. If you guys aren't using our website, check it out, a1trading.com. We've got all sorts of tools for you. So a lot of them are free. So you just head over to a1trading.com, and I want to show you this. So retail sentiment. Let me show you something. So let's look at this. I want to re-engineer this idea. So Aussie CAD, right? AUD CAD. Actually, let's see if we can find a better example. I just want to show you guys this really quick. Okay, so Euro GBP. I think there might be one better. GBP CAD. Let's try this one. GBP CAD. I'm going to say that most likely GBP CAD has been moving down. GBP CAD short. No, sorry. GBP CAD has most likely been moving up. Okay. The reason I say that is because what we see here, if I zoom in just a little so we can see this a little bit better, GBP CAD is 76% shorted by retail traders and 23% going long. Now, the reason that matters is that if we know that the average retail trader is losing money, right? The average trader who's getting involved in this is not usually making the best decisions and losing money most likely. If we know that most of them are in shorts on this, let's go look at what's happening. So we said GBP CAD, and look at this, you guys. Sure enough, what do we see? We see the retail traders, go back one more time, GBP CAD, they're all, or a vast majority of them are shorting this market. Okay, so we go back to GB CAD, they are shorting this when it is pushing higher, right? And what we generally see by a lot of retail traders is that retail traders like to try and call tops and bottoms. In this movement, the retail trader is not buying this and riding it up. The retail trader is short, 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 right? They are constantly battling the market. And then guess what happens, you guys? Guess what happens when this thing starts to dip? Some of the luckier ones who shorted up here, they make a little bit of money, but they take profit really quickly. And then they start going long. And look at them. They're all buying. And this is something we see again and again and again. And it's no wonder that so many retail traders get smoked. They're always fighting all the good moves in the market. Imagine if you were always on the wrong side of the best trends in the market, right? No stop loss, just holding on to these moves, like shorting all this, buying that, shorting this, right? That's just the natural, what happens so often. Whenever I look at retail sentiment, I see it again and again confirmed. We got to be really careful with trying to fight the natural flow of the market. So I am in my pound dollar trade. You can see it's pretty much flat right now. Nothing's really moved too much. We saw a little bit of a pop on GBP CPI numbers this morning. They were higher than expected, which was positive for the pound. As we know, a high CPI usually is an indication of the currency also getting stronger. Why is that? Well, if you have higher inflation, it causes the central bank to want to tighten monetary policy to respond to that in many cases, especially if it's above the 2% range that so many central banks are targeting for inflation. So with GBP or with the CPI numbers coming out very high for GBP, that was received as a bullish thing for the pound. So after this major sell-off, I did end up taking a buy position. I bought some other GBP pairs in this. I took some losses yesterday. Full transparency, I'm not taking wins 24/7. But you know, I caught this move here today. I do like this price action now, and I am willing to hold this trade for now. So we'll see if this one can get some follow through to the upside. Like I said, I do like GBP USD to the long side. This thing, remember when I said I like to be buying markets that are trending higher, right? So naturally, this thing has been forming higher lows and pushing up, right? So I did buy this on the retracement there at support. Specifically, I like this level here. So I'll draw this in. I don't know what happened to all my analysis today. It seems like it got cleared or deleted or something. But yeah, so I do like this thing, like I said, to the upside. Path of least resistance. We've been seeing that increase in demand. I think that the pound dollar could see a spike back up. A couple levels to consider if you're watching this thing. If you have a bearish bias, a couple levels at least to consider, maybe a retest of the high. Though, as you guys know, I don't usually like to be shorting something that is trending up. I like to be buying it. So I bought that dip. So we'll see if we can get some follow through. Up 25 bucks on that. So it hasn't really moved a whole lot. I'm looking for a bigger move if it wants to yield it. Otherwise, you know, I've also got my stop loss in place just in case. So I do like that. Again, we'll take a look at the pound dollar on the daily chart. You can see. So to be completely fair to the sellers, we have been seeing some lower highs. But what I also really liked is this recent breakout on the pound dollar. So you had this this really downtrending market, right? Where you just saw continuous strength coming into the dollar and pushing the pound lower. Well, recently we kind of shifted that. We saw a breakout to the upside, a retest, and some follow through. And now I think price, in my opinion, is consolidating before making that push higher. So that is my opinion there on the pound. I do really like the fundamentals, and I also like the technicals here for being a pound dollar bull. That is, as always, you guys know this is my opinion. I am not here to give you financial advice or to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just sharing my thoughts and my opinions. And fortunately, we've got a cool little community here on YouTube for them. So thank you guys for being here, by the way. If you're enjoying this stream, we're going to keep going through some more currency pairs. But I just want to say real quick, if you are enjoying this stream, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Oh, and you guys, before I forget, let me do this really quick. Before I forget, this Friday, we are giving away $100 and in the form of a giveaway. $100. There is no like catch. You don't have to like pay us anything or do anything like crazy like that. All you have to do to enter for a chance to win this is down below in the description. There is some information on this. So what you do is just scroll down on the screen, or if you're on your phone, just scroll down and go to the description there and follow the rules. All you have to do is follow us on IG. And if you click the link there, you just enter your email into the raffle, basically, and you'll be someone's going to be randomly selected to make $100 just from us. Just as I decided to do this in response to after I had that crazy GBP USD trade last week, which you can actually still see. You can see I ended up getting long on the pound dollar and closed it out here. Filmed the whole trade and put it up on YouTube, and the video kind of went crazy. There was a lot of people watched it and thought it was a cool trade. So I just decided, you know, in response to that, we had a good trade and you guys have been so supportive. I decided I'm going to do a $100 giveaway, and I think I'm going to do more of them in the future too. So if you guys want a chance to win $100, like I said, all you got to do is down below in the description, just follow the 2 steps there, or I guess it's 3 steps. Step 1, follow us on IG at A1trading_. A1 trading _, and then enter that or click that link, put your email in there for the random raffle. If you don't follow both, you won't get it'll be disqualified. So you got to make sure you follow on Instagram and enter your email. Okay. Look at that, up 36 bucks. We're seeing a little bit of nice price action for the pound today. Let's see if we can get that follow through. I really, looking at the 1 hour chart, look at that. I like that a lot. So we saw a little bit of a flag pattern here. So we saw that up, pullback. Maybe we'll see some follow through here for the rest of the New York session. But again, guys, if you want $100, the information on how to do so, how to win that $100 is down below in the description. Best of luck to you. I hope you're the winner. When will the draw take place? It's Friday. So the information down below will also say, I believe it says Friday. So you enter your email and we're going to be sending out an email with the winner. So definitely hit that up. Okay, we'll keep moving on. We'll leave this one, give it some time to think about it. Like I said, I like pound dollar to the long side for now. I love that we had positive CPI numbers too as well. That was actually just the icing on the cake for my bullish bias here. So I think the pound could head back up to the top. We'll see if it heads back there. You know, it might be a while, but I think it has the potential. I think a reasonable place, by the way, for the pound dollar, a little bit bigger picture, is I think we could head back to retest, you know, this area that we formed just shy of 1.14, and even, you know, bigger picture, a move back to 1.14. Sorry, 1.4. I'm saying that wrong. 1.4 could be in the cards there for the pound dollar here in the next few weeks. We'll see. We'll see how that wants to play out. But again, lots of demand here on the pound dollar. I do like it quite a bit. You know, I think it just has plenty of room to find some support after, especially that breakout and sort of just shift in momentum. Hi, Nick. I'm long on GU too. Awesome, Brick. Yeah, it's working out so far so good. I shared that trade inside of the Discord, so I'll just pull this up. I was looking at the. Did Frank take another trade? Frank took another trade on the S&P, didn't he? Let's see. Yep, he did. Yeah, Frank loves trading the S&P 500. So yeah, so all of our trades are shared inside of the Discord. So you can see there's the trade that I shared on Discord. I said I went long on GBP. Price has pulled back to a pretty nice level here, though I've taken a few very small losses on the pound. I am not too worried and still bullish on the pound overall due to the fundamentals and technicals. Fundamentals that I mentioned, I talked about them on the stream, but let me just also say this so you guys are not in the dark. I said the strong economic and pandemic outlook or pandemic data on the UK, plus the rate hike rumors and the hawkish central bank outlook and today's, you know, higher than expected CPI numbers, that's new to it, right? Is even more impactful. Actually, I'm just going to write a note here while I'm on stream. The recent CPI numbers from the UK are especially bullish for the pound, in my view. Definitely adds some confidence to my GBP bullish outlook. Going to continue to hold and look to trail stops should we see a break over the high of day. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I know you guys are seeing a little bit of the behind the scenes today. So yeah, every trade that I take, what I do in Discord is I share the alert, I share the reasoning behind the trade, the entry that I'm taking, the stop loss that I'm placing, everything about the trade. I basically use this as my journal, and I just put in even there to add to my fundamental analysis. You know, in fact, you've got two things here. Check this out. So on GBP that I really liked, CPI numbers came out for the US and they were lower than expected, which is usually seen as bearish for the dollar. And then, as we just pointed out, we had better than or higher than expected CPI numbers for the UK. So there's a little bit of a divergence there in the fundamentals, and I love the technicals as well. So again, I'm long on pound dollar for now. We'll see if that trade can continue to play out. And yeah, so for those of you guys who are members with us already, any updates to my position, I'll be sharing them here. You'll be able to see those in the my trade alert section. If you're not already in the Discord and you would like to join it, there's a link down below in the description. And if you punch in the promo code that's there, you get a subscriber discount, which makes it even cheaper to join us. So click the link down below in the description. If you're not already a member, I think it's you know, there's like a live stream promo code that you can enter there, and it will give you a discount on joining us. Yeah, so you get access to the chat rooms. You can see the trades that I'm taking, webinars that we do, or Joe Bareka from Australia, he shares webinars and things like that. We do educational stuff, all sorts of stuff for you. So hit it up if you would like to join us. That's what I've got for the pound today. Let's keep going. We'll take a look at the dollar yen. So the dollar yen took a real big beating yesterday and actually followed through even. So even through all of the whiplash on the dollar itself, the yen got so strong that it pushed us back down to the lows. You know, this thing has been really back and forth, really choppy, but I will say this. it was able to break a really key level of support. In fact, that's really interesting going into today. We were seeing a little bit of a reaction to this level here at 109.2, but watch for this. Watch for this idea on the dollar yen to see if we could get a break through the lows there. Maybe we can see price head back down to 108.8, especially if risk off sentiment stays in the market. If we see other things that are tentatively scary for the markets, for example, an increase in Delta variant cases somewhere or lockdowns or things like that. If we could get a break underneath this level, that could be a pretty big signal for the dollar yen, maybe headed down to 108.8. But as it stands right now, that's a pretty bullish candle right there. You've got that big pin bar just showing as price came down to support. We again found a lot of buyers in that region there. Looking at the dollar yen. So is it going higher? Well, it's not really something that I have a huge bias on. If anything, I'm sort of bearish on the dollar and the yen. So if anything, I'd be more aimed towards range bound, meaning like, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. But that's not really my style of trading. So this would be, for me, would just be a no trade. There's just nothing here that really interests me. But for those of you guys who are watching it, key levels that I see there are that 109.7, 109.2, and 108.8. And I guess also for the bigger picture as well, this area here up at 110.3, let's say, roughly. So yeah, a couple levels of support and resistance as this thing is very, very back and forth choppy. All right, we'll keep going. We'll take a look now at gold for my friends who love to trade gold. Here it is. Let's take a look at gold. So gold rebounded really well. So it actually sold off pretty hard initially yesterday, but then by the end of the day was just getting really, really strong, especially with that dollar weakness. Now the question is, if dollar weakness persists, does gold finally get some of a boost here? I would say, I've said this multiple times, so I don't want to sound like a broken record if you've been watching my live streams every day, but 1830 is the level that I'm still watching to really interests me, right? In terms of like being a bull on gold. If we were to able to see something like this, right? If we were to see something, big, like a break of 1830 and then a retest, absolutely could be an interesting buy side action for me, especially with a bearish thesis that I have on the USD, right? Because remember, if we're looking at gold, right, and we have a bearish thesis on the dollar, that would tend towards a bullish thesis on gold. So my thought, I am bullish on gold, but I would really like to see a signal from the buyers that we are not just going to go keep rejecting this level over and over, right? So for me, what that would most likely look like would be some form of a breakout to the upside, looking for retracements and looking to go with it, right? Because the thing is, a lot of times people are like, oh, well, then you'll miss part of the move. But let me show you something with gold. When you really see gold break out and do a true move, like Ivan made a great point on his stream yesterday. If you guys aren't familiar with Ivan, he streams on our second channel, A1 Trading. And Ivan made a great point. I was watching his stream. He made the point that gold makes like a vast majority of its moves in 1 to 2 month sprints every once in a while. And then a lot of the rest of the time, it doesn't actually do that much. So a lot of times people, all they'll do is they'll trade just gold, right? They're a gold specialist. But then the reality is, look at this. If you were trading gold during this time and you were bullish and you were capturing moves, those gains would be so much, right? That would be the vast majority of the moves out there to catch on gold. But if you were trading gold during all this time, sure, you may have had some good runs, but for the most part, it didn't really create that much volatility to create massive swing trade setups. So the point is, sometimes these markets just go really, really quiet. And so for me, I've been so sitting on the sidelines with gold compared to my, past self, where I've been, I was very active on gold during this time. And I really liked the run up back in 2020. I was very active during that time. But since then, I've really just not been so interested in trading gold. I would love to be trading gold if it started to show signs of returning to that super trend mode where it makes a massive move in a very short period of time. You guys know I did take a gold trade. I've taken one gold trade in several months. I bought gold down here at 1703. At 1703, I bought it and I closed it somewhere around here. That was pretty much the only move or only trade that I've taken on gold. One trade in several months, right? Other than this, I've been trading other things very actively. I've been trading the pound. I've been trading the CAD. I've been trading the yen. But the gold market has just been so back and forth outside of this one move here that I've just stayed on the sidelines with it. So for me, big picture, I'd love to see gold make a move outside of that 1830 range. And from there, things could get interesting. Now, if you're a super bear on gold, which I personally am not, but if you are, this level would probably be the same scenario for the sell side of it, right? If you were to see a big break underneath 1780, volume and momentum come back into this market, maybe there's stuff like this. Maybe there's, sell side back to the bottom of that range. But again, like I said, where we're currently sitting, we're just so choppy and it's really hard for me to justify trading, especially, for the people out there who that's all they trade. They only trade gold. This would be tough, right? Because you're just sitting there and there's nothing really setting up and nothing's really moving or following through for weeks on end. That gets old really quickly. So that's why I don't trade one market. A lot of times people are like, oh, you should just trade one market. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're a newer trader, but you just have to accept that that might mean that you're spending long periods of time where there's no trades for you to take. And that's fine. You just have to accept that's the reality of only trading one or two markets. So I would encourage you that if you're thinking about trading more markets, spend a tremendous amount of time back testing. Don't just go rush into trading a bunch of markets just because that sounds fun. Every market that you add onto your list of things that you trade, you should still do a ton of work to understand them. But trading just one market is probably better for newer traders, but just understand that it also can mean sitting around a lot of the time, right? So that is my thoughts there on gold. Like I said, a break either of 1780 would be interesting, or a break to the upside of 1830 would be more interesting to me for bullish setups. That's my thoughts there on that. I hope that this stream has been helpful to you. Before you go, again, $100 giveaway is down below in the description. All you have to do to enter the giveaway, if you're here with me live, there's 450 of you guys. It is literally free to do. All you have to do is just go down in the description and follow our IG, which, by the way, if you follow our IG, we'll give you plenty of trading ideas and coverage of whatever's going on in the world. So if you'd like that on your Instagram, I think you should definitely follow. Even if you don't want that, just follow it for the giveaway, and then you can unfollow next week if you prefer, right? That's up to you. And then finally, enter your email in the raffle code or the raffle link that's there. So you enter in your email into that link. You'll be entered into the raffle for a random $100. We're going to announce the winner by email. So on Friday, we'll be giving away $100. So again, follow us on Instagram, A1trading_. Enter your email in the link down below in the description. It's right there at the top. And then on Friday, we're going to be announcing the winner. Best of luck to you guys. Thank you very much for being here. If you enjoyed today's stream, I do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. US Eastern. If you would like to come back, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's completely free to do. You'll get plenty of free trading content just by subscribing to the channel, and hit that like button if you enjoy this as well. Thank you guys very much for being here. You guys are the best. Really appreciate it. And I hope that you have a great rest of your trading day. Please be safe out there. Enter that giveaway. Maybe someone out there who needs that $100 for a trading account will win it. So information is in the description. We'll see you guys back next time.
I know you were expecting Nick, but my name's Julie and I do the real work around here. I wanted to take a second to thank you guys for watching the show and tell you more about some free content that we offer. One of the things that we offer is a free email newsletter. So if you click the link down below, you can sign up for free market analysis, trading tips, and exclusive offers. Every once in a while, someone here at A1 Trading takes a crazy trade and you'll be the first one to know about it. See you guys next time.